Hey everyone, Off the Mic Sports Network reacting. The Final Four in the NFL postseason is set. We will get another edition of Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. And in the NFC, we've got all NFC East, Eagles and Commanders. So Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Commanders are the Final Four. But I want to talk in this video specifically about just like really divisional weekend rules. And this was the headline game was Bills hosting the Ravens, and the Bills win 27-25. And the Ravens in position to potentially tie this game at the end. I didn't like the way the Bills played the second half. They only scored 6 points. They played it very safe. They played it not to lose. And fortunately, because the Ravens shot themselves in the foot, 3 turnovers, Lamar Jackson fumbled, he threw an interception, and then Mark Andrews fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter. And then obviously the big miscue at the end of the game is that Mark Andrews just flat dropped what would have been a 2-point conversion that would have tied the game. Who knows what would have happened? I thought the Ravens scored way too quickly with a minute and a half to go, but they scored. So the big conversation that we've got to have is, what is the ceiling for this Baltimore Ravens team with Lamar Jackson? I will admit, Lamar Jackson has really grown on me. I've been one of those few haters who really hasn't been a fan of him, but he is an outstanding football player. May not be the greatest quarterback, but he's morphed into a really great, football player and quarterback. Like, he only threw 4 interceptions this year in the regular season. And after a really bad half, like I said, with the 2 turnovers, he played really well to get the Ravens in position to potentially tie this game. And maybe, who knows, if this would have gone to overtime, win the game. But it didn't happen. And it begs the question, is this the ceiling for the Baltimore Ravens? Can they win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson? After a couple seasons back in, I think it was 2019, where they were the 1 seed, they lost in the divisional round. They lose in the championship game last year at home against the Chiefs. And then they lose in this game where they were favored on the road against the Bills, a team that they had dominated early on in the season. So it's just like, you can't just shake that, hey, there's something going on here that maybe this isn't going to work. And the Ravens can't win a Super Bowl with this guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's an outstanding player. But, like, you watch this game and he made some just egregious mistakes in the weather. Like, you can't be loose with the ball. And it led to a fumble recovery by Von Miller. That guy returned and led to a score for the Bills. You can't throw a bad interception, even though Tony Romo seemed to think it was Matt Milano's rush. No, Lamar Jackson just did not set his feet, and he completely missed a guy trying to run a corner route, I think it was, early on in this game. And it's like, those are game-shifting plays. The Bills didn't turn it over. And I heard a stat. They haven't lost a turnover battle all year. So when you go on the road and you have 3 turnovers, you are not going to win that game 9 times out of 10. So for the Ravens to be in position to have a 2-point conversion to tie is really a testament to how great this team is in terms of, ability. But for all that ability, they seem to shoot themselves in the foot. And that wasn't the case with this organization with Joe Flacco when they went on that Super Bowl run, even with Trent Dilfer when they won the Super Bowl 25 years ago. So I'm ready to say it. I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with this guy. He's a spectacular guy who puts up these video game numbers and makes these video game plays. But when it comes time to win the big games, he has just not been able to deliver. And whether you want me to be fair or not, yes, Mark Andrews is going to get a lion's share of the blame because his fumble led to a field goal that ultimately was the margin in this, and then he dropped a 2-point conversion. But the Ravens aren't in that position to be behind if, Lamar Jackson doesn't have those 2 turnovers in the first half. So that's the first thing. Also, what in the world is going on with the Ravens that they have this, they don't want to run the ball when that's clearly what they do well. Like, how the hell is Derrick Henry with 2-point conversions and on the do or die play? How is he not even involved in the action of what was happening, a read option, something. Like you're running a boot option to the other side. Yes, to admittedly your best receiver on the field in Mark Andrews, like Todd Monken, back-to-back years. What are we doing? But it also goes to show you that, hey, I think that a lot of these past playoff failures are now getting into the Ravens' head, and even John Harbaugh. Like I just don't know if there's the mental block of getting past this in terms of all of these failures and all of these heartbreaking defeats with these great teams. And Lamar Jackson might be winning his third MVP. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and he even recognizes it. So I my big takeaway from this game from the Ravens side is a couple things. Number one, I think this is the Ravens ceiling. I don't maybe they do get to a Super Bowl. I don't think they're gonna win one. It's just I think there's so many times that they get into these games where they make these mistakes, or it's play calling, or it's Lamar doing something stupid. He's a talented player. He's one of the great talents that we've ever seen in this NFL. He's 28 years old and he's a running quarterback. The clock is ticking, and they don't have much time left. And that this was a golden opportunity. And I feel really good that, hey, Buffalo could go to Kansas City. I feel Baltimore could have gone to Kansas City and won. Like this was the window these last couple of seasons where they had won 13 games. I think they won 12 this year, or I can't even remember. And to not capitalize on that, that's just a huge missed opportunity with and I think some of it falls on the quarterback. I think some of it falls on the mistakes of the rest of the team. I feel bad for Mark Andrews. I mean, I don't like the Ravens, but Mark Andrews and I have kind of a tie, like him being a diabetic, me being a diabetic. Like, I root for people who are dealing with the same health challenge that I'm dealing with. Um, but it sucks like these things come down to like the margins. And the Ravens, like I said, you can't be -3 in the turnover battle and expect to win a game on the road. So that's my overall takeaway from that. We'll have a lot more from the playoffs this weekend. Also preview championship game. Also preview CFP championship game coming up here on Monday, and we will have all of that for you here on the channel. Thanks for all the people who've subscribed. We're getting up there to 300. Thank you all for the interaction. I appreciate it, good or bad. That's why I'm here. I love just interacting and just like pushing buttons, and also like interacting with everybody to see how they feel. Sports is very tribalistic, and it's like everybody's gonna have an opinion. I think that's what's great about what we do here at the channel. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.